Melodifestivalen is over, the winner is chosen, now it's time to come back to reality. And what is more real than getting a declaration from your tax agency? So in this video I'm going to walk you through some of the basic things about taxes in Sweden. Keep in mind, I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is just for the informative purposes, and if you want to learn more and read more about taxes in Sweden, go to the website of the tax agency, and if you feel like you don't find the information, feel free to call them. They have super nice customer service and they are more than happy to answer your questions without asking for your identity. Here I have my notes on my laptop so I don't say anything wrong because I don't want to be the source of misinformation. So let's get started. There are different types of taxes in Sweden, and the Swedish tax agency divides taxes into different categories. For example, there is work and income tax, which is pretty self-explanatory. You pay taxes on your income. Then we have also car and traffic category taxes that include vehicle tax and congestion tax. Vehicle tax means that you pay taxes on your car, on truck, on moped, whatever vehicle you own. Congestion tax means that if you pass the tolling stations, which are marked with this picture, I'm going to put it here. If you pass these tolling stations, you will get an invoice in the end of the month, and this is basically your tax. Then we have security tax, and it's another category you have to pay for if you have sold your stocks, funds, bonds. There are some more details about selling stocks and bonds, but just in general, this is security tax. And then we have tobacco tax, alcohol tax, of course, and nicotine tax. There are many more types of taxes, and as I said, go to the website and you will find all of them. So even if we complain about paying high taxes in Sweden, we all know that taxes are the foundation of the Swedish welfare, and we get a lot by paying taxes. We pay a lot, but we also get back quite a lot. For example, if we go into healthcare system, we get free healthcare until 20. We have free dental care until the year you turn 24. You have free midwife visits. If you are a woman and you are over 40 years old, you get free mammography. The list of the healthcare is quite long, but you get the idea. Then we also have free education. That means we don't need to pay for school, we don't need to pay for our gymnasiet, we don't need to pay anything for going to universities. The only thing we need to pay for example, in universities is just buying books, pens, and that's pretty much it. This is your cost, and of course the living cost. We also have pretty high quality infrastructure, and also these taxes go, for example, for international aid. And there are many more things that we get by paying taxes. According to tax agency, the tax declarations start to drop in our mailboxes in the beginning of year, and by April 15 all of us should get the declaration papers. I personally have a digital mailbox called Kivra, and I got my tax declaration on the 8th of March. This declaration must be filled out, signed, and sent to Skattedeklaration by the 2nd of May. Swedish tax agency gives you a lot of options on how you can declare your taxes. To make it easy for you and as easy as possible for you, you have the possibility to declare your taxes by using the e-services, by using the app, by sending SMS, by calling, and by filling out the physical papers, signing them physically and sending to Skatteverket. Now, when we are talking about the declaration, Skatteverket automatically pre-fills the fields for us, and we basically most of the time don't need to do anything. The only thing we need to do is to double check that the information that is pre-filled automatically is correct, and if it is correct, you're good to go, sign and send it back to the Skatteverket. However, we have to be aware that we as private persons, as private people, we have possibility to deduct some taxes. So most of the time we know if you own a business, as a business owner, you have possibility to deduct. It feels like you can deduct a lot when you own a business. But we as private people, we also have this possibility. So here I will give you some of the examples on what we can deduct as a private person. By the way, the sum of your income and deduction will decide if you will need to pay additional tax to Skatteverket or if you will get back some of your taxes back. Tax return, I think it's called in English. So example of some of things that we can deduct is if, for example, we use our cars to get to work, and if it's at least 5 kilometers to your work, if you save at least 2 hours per day when using your car, and if the cost exceeds 11,000 Swedish kronas, you are eligible for tax deduction for using your car or transportation. So you get 18.5 Swedish crowns per 10 kilometers. On this website it's written 1 mile, but I know that mile can be a bit confusing because Swedish mile, it corresponds to 10 kilometers, while American mile corresponds to some other number. So just to make it easier and more comprehensible, I say 10 kilometers. If you fulfill all these requirements, you are able to deduct 18.5 Swedish crowns per 10 kilometers. If you are using your bicycle to get to your work, you are also eligible for tax deductions and you can get 350 Swedish crowns per year. Another example of what we can deduct is the study costs. And let me be clear, it's not like you can study anything and then deduct. There is a requirement. If this additional education is required and it's like essential for your work and it's essential to keep your employment, then you are eligible for this deduction. You can make many more deductions as a private person, for example, RUT and RUT-avdrag. Please Google about it, I'm not going to go into that. If you also installed solar panels, it's a green tech deduction. You can also deduct that. If you, for example, is required to move from one place to another in order to keep your job, you can also deduct the cost for the moving. As I said, please go to skatteverket.se and read more about this. I think it's very important topic and not many people know about this, that you can deduct something as a private person. But nowadays the information is very accessible. It's accessible both on the tax agency website, but also all possible newspapers try to educate you about this. So just Google and you will find all the information. When this video is published, you will still have time to read about taxes, read about deductions, and yeah, just educate yourself. Unfortunately, we are not taught about this at school, even though this is a very important topic. So such topics as personal finance and taxes, deductions, we don't know about this because we are not taught about this, even though this information is essential for us as citizens. So please educate yourself and read more about that, and don't forget to fill out your tax declaration, because Skatteverket uppskattar oss. Thank you very much for your attention, and drop me some comments in the comment section down below. I hope you had a great day and see you next time.